20 years ago, the state of Florida was awarded a Major League Baseball franchise. The year was 1993, and the Florida Marlins were born.
The Marlins, Major League Baseball for Florida. They embark on baseball history today. Here's Offerman and the first pitch from Charlie Huck. Strike from the inside corner. That's the way to start a ball game.
5 years later, the Marlins found themselves in the World Series, and it came down to one of the most dramatic Game 7s in postseason history. In 2003, the upstart Marlins won their second World Championship, beating the heavily favored Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Last season, with a new name, new uniforms, and a new home in downtown Miami, the Miami Marlins began their first season in Marlins Park. 2-odds tied game, ninth inning. Drive the left and deep. Get out of here! Grand slam! Ball game! Like that, baby! Today, the Marlins celebrate their 20th anniversary, and we'll celebrate right along with them as we walk down memory lane and relive classic moments and visit with former players. We'll reflect on the rich history of a young franchise as the Marlins' 20th anniversary celebration takes center stage next on Fox Sports Florida. Miami this afternoon. The Fish and the Padres ready to go. Game 3 of a 4-game set, and of course, a celebration today. We here at Fox Sports Florida will celebrate 20 years of Marlins baseball. Some Marlins alum here. We'll have some special visitors and some great memories as well. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. 17 years with the Marlins, 9 years for me, plenty of memories, and we're going to go through it and have a terrific day. Let's go back to last night because the game wasn't on television, so you may not have memories of last night's ball game. Jacob Turner and offense is the short story.
Hey, trust us, we followed along. Jacob Turner was just spectacular. 111 pitches in his complete game. He had just one walk in the game, 7 strikeouts, really moved the ball around well. Giancarlo went deep, hit one off the Clevelander sign. Good ball game. First complete game by a Marlins pitcher this year. First complete game in the career of Jacob Turner.
And it continues the theme for the Marlins, who are 14-10 in June, of good young pitching. And we got 2 good young pitchers, 2 young hard-throwing Texans going today, Nathan Eovaldi, Andrew Cashner.
Look at the numbers on Eovaldi in San Francisco. He was just outstanding. 61 of his 86 pitches were 95 miles an hour or more. He also features that nasty curveball and slider. He goes today against San Diego.
Okay, now Eovaldi throws hard. Eovaldi out of Alvin, Texas. You got Andrew Cashner, the 26-year-old, the former first-round pick of the Cubs.
Well, he's been on a nice roll. Went 8 innings his last time out. And against the Marlins in San Diego, 4 hits, no runs, and 7 1/3. The big guy maybe doesn't throw as hard as Eovaldi, mixes it up well, and can get in on you with some pretty good stuff.
And that's our Coventry Healthcare pitching matchup, Eovaldi and Cashner, Miami and San Diego, and plenty of memories to go around the whole day through on Fox Sports Florida. Charles Johnson and Jeff Conine. That means Craig Minervini's all by himself out there. Craig?
I am, but that's okay because Jeff Conine and Charles Johnson on the mound here. How was that first pitch? Jeff Conine just threw it to Charles Johnson, and for Niner, it was a pretty good pitch. I think it was a high and away. Let's see that. That's a little high, I believe. He wasn't too happy with it, but he got it there behind many of his teammates. Lenny Harris, Alex Harris, looks like Bruce Avon, Tony Perez, former Marlin manager as well. Tony Taylor, former Marlins coach, is here. We're going to talk to a lot of the guys. Charles Johnson as well here. Great catcher, all-star and a world champion with the Marlins from 1997. There's Bruce Avon on the left and the great Tony Taylor as well. So we'll talk to all these guys. It's a 20th anniversary celebration amidst the backdrop. And in the foreground, it's Padres Marlins. Game 3. The Marlins are playing great, going for a 15-win month on this final day of June. One of the best marks in all of the National League. Game 3 coming up.
Toyota, let's go places. By AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By Just for Men Auto Stop, the foolproof way to get rid of gray. And by Checkers. Feast on. Inside Marlins Park, ready for some baseball. The Fish and the Friars, San Diego and Miami. The Padres, a game under 500. Pinch a penny brings you the first pitch, and it's a fastball from Nathan Eovaldi. And when he throws a fastball, it's up there. That was 98 miles an hour for Eovaldi. Logan Forsythe, Alexei Amarista, and Chase Headley for the Padres, who had the Marlins number. I mean, completely had the Marlins number until yesterday. You see Eovaldi and his numbers making start number 3. But yesterday, Jacob Turner rose up through a complete game. Giancarlo Stanton homer. Justin Ruggiano had a couple of hits. So did Derek Dietrich. And Miami beat the Padres 7-1 to even the series.
One of the key, Rich, for Nathan Eovaldi, as you look at Turner, who pitched such a great game last night, the key for Eovaldi, stay in the strike zone. I mean, his stuff is electric. We've seen fastballs 98, 97, and he has that sharp breaking ball. If he's in the strike zone, he's tough to hit. And you think of his 2 starts, he's given up a couple of home runs, and the home runs have been on mistake pitches.
Forsythe, the former University of Arkansas star, with the Padres banged up, especially up the middle. Jed Jerko, their second baseman. Everett Cabrera, their shortstop, still on the DL. Stanton calls off Dietrich and makes the catch. And so this is game 3 of a 4-game set. Bud Black with this lineup. Oh, that's a great shot. And it's brought to you by JM Lexus. The shot and the lineup. Logan Forsythe, Alexei Amarista, Chase Headley, the Gold Glover. Kyle Blanks in the cleanup spot. Will Venable in right. Mark Kotze, the former Marlin. Yasmani Grandal, the former Hurricane. Pedro Ceriaco. And Andrew Kashner hits ninth. Amarista fouls it back and out of play. Amarista on Friday night had a starring role with a triple and an RBI single. And San Diego waxed the Marlins 9-2. And at that point, the Marlins weren't sure if they were ever going to beat the Padres. The Marlins, remember, were swept in San Diego and scored just 1 run in 3 games. Morrison to his knees and makes the play. Nicely done.
That's a good job by Logan Morrison, who's had some troubles a little bit over there adjusting to first base, but nicely done. As you check the defense, brought to you by Cleveland Clinic. Justin Ruggiano starting again. He's in left field. Ozuna and Stanton. Ed Lucas moves over to third base with Echeverria alongside him. Dietrich and Morrison, and Jeff Mathis handling Eovaldi. There's that play. Good instinct, good job, and a good feed to Eovaldi.
One of the amazing things about the San Diego Padres, number one, they're 2.5 games out in the West, and they're doing it without big offensive numbers from Chase Headley, which you would expect if they're going to contend. They have to have Headley where he was last year when he slugged nearly 500, drove in 115 runs on 31 homers, 6 homers, 25 driven in right now. Eovaldi misses out. Bud Black.
Hey, Bud Black celebrating his 57th birthday today. So let's see. He can celebrate it tonight, Rich, at a fine dining facility somewhere in Miami, maybe South Beach.
That's right, because this is one of the rare wraparound series, which starts on a Friday and ends on a Monday. Tomorrow night is the finale of this series, and Eovaldi misses down low. Headley takes the armor off and heads down to first. And so now you've got Eovaldi facing Kyle Blanks. Marlins have won 15 of their last 25 games. The Fish, a 14-10 record in the month of June. And so a chance here to notch another win in June.
And today being the last day of June.
Kyle Blanks takes a fastball for a strike. Blanks, the big slugger, the 26-year-old, is 1 for 9 in this series. Will Venable and Logan Forsythe have done the most damage for the Padres in this series. Forsythe with a homer, 4 hits. Venable with 4 hits and 3 RBIs.
You know, when the Marlins acquired Nathan Eovaldi, the first appearance that he had, his first start was against the San Diego Padres last year, last July. Gave up just 5 hits in a run and 5 1/3 innings.
And of course, Eovaldi coming from the Los Angeles Dodgers, so the Padres very much aware of him. Blanks smacks it into center field. Ozuna right there makes the catch and then rushes off the field. Well, Eovaldi a scoreless first. We're underway in Miami. First scoreless ball game. Marlins and Padres just underway. Marlins Park. And the Fish looking for a win. Number 29. JM Lexus brings you the Marlins lineup. Justin Ruggiano had a nice game last night. He's back in the leadoff spot. And Lucas is on a nice run, a 7-game hit streak. Giancarlo Stanton a home run last night. Logan Morrison has hit in 4 straight. Marcelo Zuna out in center field. He's hit in 8 straight. And Derek Dietrich with 4 hits in the series. And Danny Echeverria at short. Jeff Mathis gets his 2nd straight start. And Nathan Eovaldi will hit 9th.
Kind of nice when you have a few guys on hit streaks. It puts together a little consistency, and they'll need to do it against Andrew Kashner, who was pretty good against the Marlins in San Diego. 7 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits and no runs in that game. He pitched against Wade LeBlanc, and the Padres won 5-0. But he's not overpowering. He throws in the 90s. There's no question about that. Goes upstairs. His motion at times can be a little deceptive. He's 6'6".
And Ruggiano took a rip at the first pitch. Ruggiano a 2-for-4 night last night. So his 2nd start of the series. And a sawed-off swing. Siriaco makes the throw to first in time to get Ruggiano. Kashner will do that to you. Opponents are hitting just .250 against him. From the Padres, and it's brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, Florida.
Well, because the Marlins are celebrating the 20th anniversary, Mark Kotze's in the lineup. He's in left field. Amarista and Venable. Headley, Siriaco, Forsythe, and Blanks around the infield, and Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. I think, Rich, a guy like Andrew Kashner, I'm sure he hopes this, and I'm sure the Padres hope this, that he's not forever linked in a negative way because he was traded for Anthony Rizzo.
Well, fans around here know Anthony Rizzo, the kid from Parkland, now with the Cubs. But Kashner is fashioning a really nice season. When you look at his numbers, an ERA in the low 3s, a nice 5-3 record for a team that's a game under 500.
He doesn't walk many.
Right. And he's in a great spot. I mean, he's pitching for Bud Black. Darren Balsley, a pitching coach of high repute, so to speak. And so a pitcher's ballpark in San Diego, a big hard thrower. And a 2-2 count on Ed Lucas. And it's out. That's a trade that you're going to need 5, 7, 8 years before you can weigh in on one way or the other.
Ed Lucas, Rich, making his 21st start. There's a good changeup by Kashner. Ed has started every position in the infield.
The bottom dropped out of this thing.
Saw the fastball around 92 or 3. That changeup 84. And a little bit of a dive bomber.
Giancarlo Stanton now. A home run last night. Banged it up off the Clevelander sign above the Clevelander.
Yeah, Giancarlo's had a nice homestand. 6 for 15 on the homestand.
In case you missed it, this was last night, late in the ball game. Stanton shoots that one down the right field line, and it's going to peel foul. 1-2. So for Stanton now, 8 home runs to go with 8 doubles, a 5-game streak. And in his own words, he was very pleased that when he came back from the hamstring injury, he didn't have to start all over again, because the start of the season was a real struggle for him to find not only what pitchers were trying to do to him without a lot of protection in the lineup. The 2-2. Got him. Kashner on a couple of changeups gets strikeouts of Lucas and of Stanton, and works a 1-2-3 first. From Miami, and it's brought to you by the fine folks at H.H. Gregg. And Nathan Eovaldi against Will Venable. Into the second. Eovaldi also gets Mark Kotze and Yasmani Grandal in a pop-up. Ed Lucas has it lined up, and he makes the catch. Eovaldi's velocity has been something that has opened a lot of eyes from scouts to opponents, I think even for the Marlins. Because, Tommy, when the Marlins saw Eovaldi last year make a dozen starts and go 3-7 with a 4.43 ERA, they did not see 98, 99, 97, what they're seeing right now.
They saw a flash of it, but they didn't see the consistency in which he's throwing that fastball this year. Good comebacker, good play. First inning, Eovaldi threw 15 pitches, 14 fastballs, all were 95 or above.
Oh, we didn't even get to introduce Mark Kotze on the one hopper back to Eovaldi. Next Marlins watch party coming up on Tuesday the 2nd. We'll be in Atlanta. You can be at Duffy's Sports Grill. There's Craig's favorite clown out there in left field. It's at the Intercoastal Mall in North Miami Beach. See the Marlins against the Braves at 7:10. Win prizes. Meet Billy and the Energy Team. And wear your Marlins gear. Get your first drink free at Duffy's Sports Grill. Go to marlins.com for more. That's one of the great moments in Marlins broadcasting is, I believe it's Tootie
the Fruity.
The Fruity. The balloon bending clown. Breaking ball misses down low. Now, I know that we have a lot of dignitaries and guests lined up for interviews. So I don't know that we'll be able to speak with Tootie today.
I don't think we can get the Fruity in the broadcast today, because I don't think he was around 20 years ago.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, he wasn't around the ballpark.
No, he wasn't.
He might have been around.
Birthdays and bar mitzvahs at that point. Ballpark at this stage. Here's the 3-1, and it's outside. And Yasmani Grandal, the Miami product, walks. Grandal a couple hits in this series. And he's down to first. And Pedro Siriaco is coming up. So Eovaldi's walked a couple. He had walked just 3 in the 2 previous starts. His last time out, 6 real nice innings in the win over the Giants. Siriaco acquired from the Red Sox for a little shortstop depth, and all of a sudden the Padres needed it when Everett Cabrera injured a hamstring.
I think they miss Everett Cabrera for a lot of reasons. Number one is 31 stolen bases. You talked about Headley not having the kind of year he had last year, and then recently with Cabrera on the disabled list, that hurts their offense too. That's that hard slider.
Oh, 0-2. Siriaco has had a decent start with the bat. Of course, the Padres also without Cameron Maybin, former Marlin. But as you find throughout baseball, every team has injuries. Every team is without a key player. The Marlins spent 2 months without Giancarlo Stanton, 2.5 months without Logan Morrison. Heck, they spent 2 months without the guy on the mound, Nathan Eovaldi. Henderson Alvarez is close to getting here in the big leagues after a terrific last start in Double-A on his rehab stint.
Seems to be the word that he'll be activated sometime next week. That 7 2/3 innings for Double-A. Jacksonville gave up no runs in his last outing.
If so, he better pack for warm weather because the Marlins will be in Atlanta for the 4th of July. Oh, wait a minute.
It doesn't necessarily mean he's activated, but no, he's here.
Good to see him.
That's a good sign for him.
It's a positive sign.
It's a good sign for Henderson.
We take that as a positive sign. Here's a 1-2. That one shot foul into the seats. Count 1-2. And Eovaldi buries it. And so Siriaco has done a nice job of extending this at bat. The pitcher, Andrew Kashner, is on deck. Grandal, the runner at first. All of a sudden, Eovaldi not as sharp as he was in the first inning. A walk to Grandal and a deep count here. Full count, 2 outs.
These are those innings that a guy like Eovaldi get it a little bit out of hand, and then all of a sudden that pitch count gets up.
To right, Stanton over and there, and makes the catch. There he is, Tommy. One of our favorites. In a scoreless ball game. And there's your Twitter poll. Marlin Champs, who would win a best of 7? 97 or 03? Hashtag 1997 Fish. Hashtag 2003 Fish. Well, Conine would be facing himself then.
Yeah, that's hard to put that one together. That's a good Twitter poll today.
I think certainly 97 had more talent in terms of big names, but 2003 had the mojo, and they had the little better team speed. Maybe played as a team a little bit better.
Maybe a little better defense.
Yeah.
03. Talking about that, we'll scout Andrew Kashner, 6'6", with some tilt to the delivery. That can make him a little deceptive. We've seen the changeup already to right-handers, so he uses it to righties and lefties. And as he's progressed as a major leaguer, he's gotten better in command, so improved command.
Logan Morrison now. Marcell Ozuna, Derek Dietrich also coming up. Morrison pops one up down the left field line. Kotze's in, and Mark Kotze gets those old legs moving, makes a basket catch. Says nothing to it.
Well, those old legs, 37. And when Kotze was at his best, he was always one of the most, and he still is, fundamentally sound outfielders that you're going to see. Play center, play left, play right, and just did all the little things correctly.
Now a pinch hitter for the Padres. Kotsay last year had a couple of pinch hit home runs. Ozuna pulls one in the hole. Siriaco slipped, and his throw skips out of the glove of Blanks. When Siriaco tried to plant, it looked like he lost his footing for just a moment right there.
And that's what he had to do on that play. He had to backhand, and then you have to plant that back foot so he can get something on the throw. That back foot kind of slipped a little bit, thus the low throw. Probably be charged with an error. Maybe not. And yes, he is.
So in E6, and here's Dietrich, and Derek Dietrich is back with a couple of hits in his last 2 ball games. The biggest challenge for Dietrich in talking to Tino Martinez is just being anxious to hit. And that is such a hard thing when you're struggling as a young hitter. You obviously want to get hits. And to get hits, you feel like you've got to swing the bat.
And also when you're anxious, you jump a little bit at the plate. And so you roll over. And so you watch Dietrich over the last week or so take batting practice. Really trying to stay back, trying to hit a lot of balls into center, left center. He's not that type of hitter. He doesn't have the Logan Morrison type swing, but he tries to do that to keep him back.
Sends that one out Kotsay's way. Kotsay again charging over. And it's out of play.
But it's wonderful for a young hitter, for any hitter for that matter, but when you're a young hitter and you're struggling, and he had dipped below 200. But it's great when you work on those things, and then all of a sudden you see a little results, as he has in this series, 4 for 8 in the series.
Castro ready. Ozuna's at first. And that's out. And that pitch right there is probably a great illustration. As you look at Fox Tracks, that's an even better illustration of where Dietrich has come to from where he was. A guy that was swinging pitches out of the zone. He takes, and it's in. That's a nice walk. And that'll make his hitting coach, Tino Martinez, very happy. Because hitting coaches, they get fired up about a good walk, just like they do a line drive.
A lot of times the way a hitter takes a pitch and by drawing a walk, a lot of times that tells you he's locked in, he's seeing the ball.
So the error by Siriaco opens the door a bit. Dietrich walks to first. And here is Echeverria. And the same principles that Dietrich has been struggling with, Echeverria has been having a hard time getting a hold of this year. And that's a great example of first pitch fastball inside, an impossible pitch to hit, and he takes a rip at it.
And you know I don't mind a first pitch swinger on a fastball, but look where that fastball was. If you're going to swing first pitch fastball, that thing better be right down the middle of the plate. Now he takes a much better pitch from Kashner, and just like that, in the hole, 0-2.
See, 2 for 15. Because the scouting report gets out that you don't have to throw him a strike to get him out. Or you can throw your strike, a pitcher's pitch, to get him out. Mathis on deck. Kashner 0-2 on Echeverria, and he misses out at 97. So the big 6'6" Texan out of Conroe, Texas, can dial it up when he needs it. He pitched at TCU.
He actually started the year, made his first 5 appearances out of the bullpen for San Diego.
Back to Kashner, spins out there. Siriaco's turn out there, and a 1-6-3 double play ends the Fish in the second. Scoreless in Miami. One of the great flashbacks, Jeff Conine, the Giants Division Series, JT Snow, meet Pudge. Pudge holds the ball, game over, series over, on to Chicago and the NLCS.
And then gets pinned by Ugather Bina and the rest of the club.
Conine still signing.
You may have writer's. You're going to have writer's cramp after a while.
Writer's cramp. Good thing that doesn't affect my mic holding skills.
Oh, look at that shot. They're right there. That's a good one.
There you go.
An original catch.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it, Craig?
Yeah, look at the line here. Niners here. Charles Johnson and Bruce Avon will be coming here in a bit. But this line goes out to practically our center field set here. So neat for you guys to be able to be back here on the 20th anniversary.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Phenomenal.
Who's your favorite Marlin 20 years? You don't have to say it's him.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one.
What do you think? Who's your favorite Marlin?
Juan Pierre.
Juan Pierre. That's a good one. 20 years?
Yes.
Is it your favorite? Who do you have a favorite Marlin?
Dontrell.
Dontrell. Good names there, guys. We'll be over here for a while. I think CJ's up next. We'll talk to him in a bit.
All right, Craig, thank you.
A lot of favorites over the years.
Nice bunt hit by Andrew Kashner.
How about that? You don't expect a 6'6" pitcher to drop down a bunt, but Kashner trying to help his own cause, leadoff hitter. He knew he didn't have to make it a perfect bunt because Ed Lucas was playing way back.
So it's top of the order for the Padres with a runner at first, Logan Forsythe, Alexei Amarista, Chase Headley, Nathan Eovaldi in his third inning now of his third start. Gets a strike on Forsythe, who has come out swinging as a Padre. 4 hits in this series, a homer, and is driven in 2. Forsythe steps out.
Marlins are missing their rookie standout, Jed Jerko, this series. He's still on the disabled list.
Boy, nobody can get on the right page right now. Eovaldi steps off, Forsythe steps out. And Eovaldi buries a breaking ball. Count 1-2. Nathan's just 23. 11th round pick of the Dodgers back in 2008. Of course, one of the guys that went from Miami to Los Angeles is hot right now. Hanley Ramirez has heated up and is playing quite well in the shadow of Yasiel Puig.
It's one of the reasons the Dodgers have been on a nice roll. Puig's been on fire. He's really brought a lot of intensity and fire to him. And Hanley Ramirez all of a sudden, 11-game hitting streak. And I believe 4 or 5 home runs during that time. So they're happy to have Hanley off the disabled list.
Now the Dodgers are just 5 games back in the West. Everybody's in the race.
It's an interesting division.
Everybody's
it really
in the race.
is.
Arizona is above 500. It's the only team above 500. 2 games back of the Rockies. Padres are 2.5 back. The Giants are 4 back. The Dodgers 5 back. To third, Lucas. Dietrich, the turn. Nicely done. And the Marlins get 2. So 2 outs here in the third. Fox Sports is proud to team with Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people in America each year through pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports to learn how you can fight hunger in your community. Together, we are feeding America.
Just looking, if Arizona was in the National League Central, they'd be in 4th place.
Well, the Central,
the 3rd place team in the Central, Cincinnati's won 46 games, 46 and 35.
The Central is top heavy, and what makes it even more impressive, what Cincinnati, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh have done, is there's no Houston in that division this year. And the Cubs have got 5 solid starters. Milwaukee can score runs. And Houston has gone to the American League, and that was a place where a lot of teams used to go to get wins.
So congrats to the Pirates, the first team to reach 50 wins.
First to 50. They've won 8 in a row, and last night was the 5th consecutive sellout at PNC Park. Tommy, that's the first time in that ballpark's history they've ever had 5 consecutive sellouts.
Has to be, I know you were there with the Fox game, has to be a lot of excitement in Pittsburgh.
What a terrific atmosphere last night in Pittsburgh. Morrison comes down, and in front of the Padres dugout, he makes the catch. And Amarista pops out. Eovaldi has a nice tidy 3rd inning. Legends have come back for this 20th anniversary celebration, and all-time Lenny Harris is back. Lenny, a Marlin for 3 seasons, the World Championship year in 2003, 2004, 2005, a native of Miami, born in Miami, and a long Major League career, and he's with us tonight. Hey, I can't believe this is your first time in this ballpark.
Yeah, it was my first time in this ballpark. I remember the first time I came here with a couple of guys on the team and just to break ground. I remember Tommy, we all had on hard helmets out there.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how beautiful this place looked, without a doubt.
And when you were growing up, was it Jackson High School?
Yeah, Miami Jackson Senior High School, class of '83.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you were sneaking into games at the Orange Bowl and watching the Dolphins and the Canes?
Definitely, with no problem. Both, the Dolphins always been my #1 team, and the Hurricanes. I'm a Florida boy, so I'm always cheering for all the Florida teams. And once these Marlins start getting going, they're going to start packing them in here, too.
Hey, we saw some of those highlights, Lenny, in '03. Certainly you're a big part of that. And Rich and I were talking last inning about the differences, '97 and '03. What was special about the '03 team?
Team unity. I think that bench means a lot to the team. I think Redmond was one of the guys. Foxy was one of the guys. Yeah. We had some guys on that team was pretty much all we thought about was winning. Nobody gave us a chance. Everybody came together as one. We started thinking that we can win. Nobody thought we can win. But it's just we believe that we can do it. And it was the unity of the team. We came together as one. Pudge Rodriguez came to us, and I remember in the NLCS telling us that, hey, we're down 2, but we're going to finish up 2 in Chicago. And we believe we can win. And I think once these young guys here start realizing that once they put it together, I think it'll become 1-2.
Jeff Mathis at the plate, 3-2 from Andrew Kashner. And a high pop into shallow right. Will Venable is there. and he makes the catch. Now, you were in baseball 18 seasons in the big leagues?
17 exact in the season, and 2 years as the hitting coach for the Washington Nationals.
Now you're doing a little hitting coaching with the Marlins in the minor leagues.
Yeah, definitely. The GCL team is getting started. We're now pretty much starting to put things together. We're 3-3.
Hey,
so,
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Last 2 games, Yelich was up there.
Oh, definitely.
How's he look?
Oh, unbelievable. I've never seen him play in the spring training games. So many people told me what kind of ball player he is. But he come down there with a mission. Here's a guy that's running every ball out. Just like Osuna came down, I had to come and tell him thanks for coming down there and putting on a big show for the kids, because usually if a big league come down there, they kind of pretty much dog it a little bit. But those guys are coming down there. They're working hard. You know, they're giving all the effort they can. And I told them one day you might not even see AAA. You might go to the big leagues, and bam, look what happens. I'm watching them on TV. But that's the effort that you have to put in. But Yelich has been outstanding. What a great outfielder he is. And it's a pleasure watching him there, helping us win a couple games. But, you know, time will tell. Sooner or later he'll be here. And just a flick of a thick. You know, you never know when it's going to tick.
Nathan Eovaldi facing Andrew Cashner. And at the knees, Eovaldi goes down. Cashner's locked in right now. Miami without a hit. And Justin Ruggiano comes up. Now, legally, we have to remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Now, you got to the postseason with some other teams too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much every team I went through to get to the postseason, we had to go through Atlanta. That was one tough place to go through. If you can go through Atlanta, you had a chance of winning a pennant. But back in the 90s, Atlanta was the place to be and the place to go through just to get to a pennant. But it was tough. You know, we got it done at one time. You know, we weren't afraid of those guys. But, you know, in time it tell.
There's a drive to left field, hit pretty well. Kotze has it lined up, though, and Ruggiano with a long fly ball out. All right, Lenny, thanks for visiting.
Thanks, you guys.
Enjoy your stay here at Marlins Park.
I just want to also remember that I got a picture of my buddy Tommy Hutton. I always carry my wallet with me. So I want to make sure I would get Tommy to sign.
Lenny Harris came to the booth and wanted Tommy Hutton's autograph, but he wanted you to sign one of your old Montreal Expo cards, and there it is. Now, some guys are photographed with a bat in their hand.
That's right. You know, it's the end of your career.
Some have their glove out in the field. You're on the bench looking at Dick Williams as if to say,
when am I going to hit?
Yeah.
Lenny Harris, 212 career pinch hits. I always remember
thinking, okay, Manny Mota had 150. That's never going to be broken. And Lenny Harris shattered that pinch hit mark by a good amount.
You don't play 17 years in the big leagues as a role player, pinch hitter, and not have success, and he certainly had a lot of it.
That's why guys call him all-time.
Chase Headley, Kyle Blanks, Will Venable for the Padres. And Headley fouls it back. Eovaldi's start has been an interesting one. He really hasn't dominated.
He does not have a strikeout.
He's walked a couple. Ruggiano towards the line and over and there. And he makes the catch. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. Charles Johnson, Bruce Avon are here. We're going to get CJ in the booth, but we just want to say a quick hello to Charles. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing really
good. Join Rich and Tommy in a little bit?
Oh, yeah, I'll be up there in a few minutes.
This must be a lot of fun for you guys.
It's always fun. You know, you come back and you have, you know, a lot of fans that recognize you from years ago to be here, so it's wonderful.
I don't think Bruce Avon, Charles has aged too much, do you?
No, he actually looks pretty good. I saw him out there catching Conan off the mound. It looked good.
What happened, by the way? That throw was a little off the mark, I thought.
It was a little high, but I was glad it wasn't in the dirt, I'll tell you that much.
Bruce Avon had a real, you consider your best year in the majors with the Marlins. Knocked in over 70. He had a lot of plate appearances, over 440, I think.
Right.
Good year for you.
Yeah, that was my lucky year. Yeah, that was the year I was lucky. So it's better be lucky than good.
You've been coaching American Heritage, and you've had a lot of success. Do you enjoy that? And tell us about the teams you had.
Oh, we enjoyed it, man. So far, in 2 years, I've had 13 kids go to college. I've had probably 6 or 7 that have had a chance to get drafted, whether they signed or not. I just had a kid got drafted to Milwaukee, Brandon Diaz. And a lot of kids that actually had a chance to get drafted turned it down. So a ton of talent. But the good thing is teach them how to be not just good ball players, but good people.
Some championships, too.
We were fortunate enough the first year to win a state championship and be ESPN's #1 team in the nation. And this year we were also #1 team in the nation, but we lost in the playoffs and sent us home.
They never called him Popeye, but look at these forearms. See, that's how a hitter. Can you see that forearm? Are those ridiculous?
That's unbelievable. That's like my leg right there.
Bruce Avon, good to see you.
Thank you.
That's how you have a good hitting success there. A little spinach. Back to you guys.
A lot of spinach for that.
I tell you, he generated a lot of power. I mean, Bruce Avon, not a tall guy, and would come up with those Popeye forearms, and he'd hit some home runs.
Will Venable after a Kyle Blank single. Venable facing Nathan Eovaldi in the 4th in a scoreless ball game.
And by the way, I really think it's terrific that a former major leaguer can go into the coaching ranks in high school. And I loved what he said. He's got all those kids going on to college. That's his goal. That's a high school coach's goal. Get them through high school, teach them how to play, teach them how to be young men, and then get them on to college.
Speaking of that, I had an interesting conversation with Garrett Cole last night.
Oh, he's pitching today, I think, trying to go for his 5th win.
And Cole was drafted in the 1st round by the Yankees out of high school and did not sign with them, even though he grew up a Yankee fan. He went to UCLA, Conine's alma mater. There's a liner in the center field. That's a base hit. And Ozuna picked it up. And so the question posed to him was, why didn't you sign with the Yankees? You're the team that you always liked. It was 1st round money. And he said he wanted to go to college. And he did the thing that college taught him was discipline, because he had to go to class. He went to UCLA, so you got to make grades. You got to go to class. And he said that gave him the discipline to handle things off the field, so that when he did get drafted 1st overall by the Pirates, that now the transition into Major League life, and he only spent just a season and a half in the minor leagues, has been very easy because he said he went to college.
And you know, for a high school kid, that's hard to have that discipline if you go on and start your professional career. A lot of kids get drafted in the lower rounds, you know, or higher rounds, however you look at it, out of high school and don't sign. But that's a great story. 1st round, didn't sign.
Venable at 1st, Blanks at 2nd, and Kotze Swings on one. Makes the catch. We apologize for the sound effect there that slipped in. Still scoreless. Marlins and Padres tomorrow night. All you can eat seats for just $22. And Outback Steakhouse South Florida Heroes Monday. All military, veterans, police, firefighters, and first responders can receive free tickets to the game. Go to marlins.com for more information. Yasmani Grandal walked his first time up, and Grandal takes outside. Grandal, if you're a South Florida baseball fan, you know him from, well, a couple different places. Miami Springs High School, University of Miami. He and Yonder Alonso, both first-round draft picks of the Reds. Alonso out of Coral Gables High School, also University of Miami product, and then they end up both getting traded from the Reds to the Padres in the Matt Latos deal. Of course, Latos is from Coconut Creek.
Pretty incredible that you have a couple of kids who were teammates in college and then are together in the same organization in professional ball and then get traded together.
Grandal, switch hitting catcher, fouls it back.
Of course, he dealt with his 50-game suspension, and Grandal was not reinstated until May 28th, so he didn't begin his season this year until May 28th.
Eovaldi with a high fastball, and he's loaded the bases now. The pitch count is up. The ball strike ratio's certainly not where Chuck Hernandez would like to see it.
Yeah, I think the oddity of the game for Eovaldi, for a guy who throws as hard as he does, and I don't think he's thrown as many pitches, 95 plus, as we saw his last outing. But the oddity, no strikeouts. That tells you, okay, it's the big leagues. These guys can hit a 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. You've got to put together with that fastball some secondary pitches, curveball, slider. And he's only thrown a few of them.
Siriaco now. And it's 1-0. He had no strikeouts and 3 walks. 3 hits for the Padres. Miami does not have a hit against Andrew Kashner. And Eovaldi just can't find the plate. Blanks, Venable, and Grandal from left to right fill the bases, and here comes Chuck Hernandez.
Yeah, I guarantee Chuck has seen a little something in his delivery, trying to correct a flaw. Talks things over always with Mike Redmond. That's the one thing about, I think, why you see so many former catchers as managers. They're over there on the bench and they watch that pitcher so they can see things that they saw when they were catchers.
Cholula Hot Sauce Spotlight is shining on a native of San Pedro de Macorís, Pedro Siriaco. 150th Major League game. He's played every position except pitcher and catcher in the big leagues. And he swings at a 2-0 pitch.
Thank you very much.
And the Marlins get the out at second base. My goodness. What a break for Eovaldi. You can almost see him smile as he comes off the mound. Honda. Visit your Honda dealer for great lease and finance deals on fuel-efficient Hondas. Well, Pedro Ciriaco had just watched Nathan Eovaldi lose the strike zone, walking Yasmani Grandal, and then fell behind Ciriaco at 2-0. And so the bags were loaded. Ciriaco is sitting there, and the pitching coach, Chuck Hernandez, came out to talk to him, and you would think that it would have had to have been right down the middle for him to swing.
Look at this. Fastball runs up and in, out of the strike zone. Ciriaco went after it and hit the ground ball into the force play. So that's one as a pitcher. And you said you almost saw Eovaldi with a little smile saying, thank you very much to help me out of this inning. Now the Marlins offense has to try to do something.
Well, they need to get a base runner. They need to get a hit against Andrew Kasher. They have had a couple of base runners, an error by Ciriaco and a walk to Dietrich. Ed Lucas, Giancarlo Stanton, Logan Morrison in the bottom of the fourth. Checkers bringing you Fox Tracks.
Interesting story you were telling about Garrett Cole, drafted in the first round out of high school. Andrew Kashner was drafted a couple of times, 3 times. He was drafted by Atlanta, by Colorado, and then eventually signed with the Cubs after being drafted by them.
Grandal with a nice play, and Lucas is out. Well, Tommy, if you go back into Marlin history, you find 4 no-hitters. And the first was Kevin Brown in 1997, and you were there.
I was there. That was in San Francisco. He almost threw a perfect game and was just tremendous. He had electric stuff. You talk about a heavy, hard sinker. It was Kevin Brown's.
And you see Charles Johnson in the middle of that. Alex Fernandez. Stanton takes a changeup. Kasher's really used that changeup to his advantage. He struck Stanton out on a changeup in the first.
To me, it seems like he's used it more in this game than he did in San Diego.
So 4 no-hitters in Marlins history. The first actually was Al Leiter.
Al Leiter, then Kevin Brown.
Then Brown.
And then the wonderful one that nobody knew was a no-hitter, A.J. Burnett, and then Anibal Sanchez.
Little tapper over the mound. Forsythe makes the play, and Stanton is out.
And the Padres, in their long history dating back to 1969, the Padres, remember, they used to be, along with the Mets, have never had a no-hitter thrown.
Yeah, the only team without a no-hitter are the Padres. They have been no-hit themselves 7 times. And they have thrown 26 one-hitters.
There's a great story about one of their low-hit games. I don't know if it ended up being well, it had to be a 2-hitter, so it wasn't one of the one-hitters. But Steve Arlen was a right-hander, took a no-hitter into the 9th inning. It was against the Phillies. Danny Doyle broke it up. Arlen balked.
That one's going to fall beyond Ciriaco.
There's a hit.
And the Marlins, as ugly as it is, have their first hit. Lomo will take it. He'll hit a few line drives at people. And so he'll take the pop-up that drops.
And I'll tell you what he has lately. Hit some line drives at people, so he'll take that. No chance for Ciriaco, just out of his reach. Anyway, Arlen gives up the hit in the 9th inning. Danny Doyle breaks up the no-hitter. He's shaking a little bit. He balks. Doyle goes to second base, and I got a hit to drive him in. So that was the only run of the game. So that was a close one. And I remember Doyle, little left-hand hitter, second baseman, broke it up in the 9th.
Now, was your hit a pinch hit appearance, or were you in the game?
I think I was in the game.
Now Ozuna with 2 outs and Morrison at first. Ozuna reached on Ciriaco's error at short. He hits a flare to right. Venable charges and can't get it. Morrison, for some reason, started back to first with 2 outs.
Oh, man.
Logan
Got
Morrison,
to know how many outs there are.
he should be at third base, and he knows it.
Yeah, with the bloop like that with 2 outs, it doesn't matter. He should be off and running, and you're right, at third base. You know that Perry Hill told him how many outs there were when he got to first base. He pauses. Look at him. He's reacting as if there was 1 out or nobody out.
And you could see it wasn't until he started towards second that he realized that there were 2 outs. So Ozuna and Morrison with pop-ups that drop for hits. And now Dietrich is up, and it's Cashner who's in a little bit of difficulty.
This is where you go for the old 2 bloops and a blast and take the lead.
Dietrich drives it left center field. That ball's deep. Amarista won't get it, and it goes to the wall. Morrison scores. Ozuna scores. 2 bloops and a bolt to left, and a 2-0 lead.
Wow, it happens so fast, and just like that, you get a couple of bloops, a little break, some luck. And then Dietrich, there's that swing we were talking about earlier. Maybe trying to think left center, center field a little bit more. The blast is usually a home run, but I'll accept this as 2 bloops and a semi-blast, putting the Marlins on top.
And this is exactly what you talked about during the last at-bat by Dietrich, what he's been working on in batting practice, and that is left center field. Staying close, driving the ball up the middle, and he finds himself 2 RBIs and a double in that gap. Danny Echeverria bounced into a double play in the second. Cashner's got to be thinking, man, I made 2 good pitches.
Yes, he did.
After getting 2 outs, Morrison and Ozuna.
Now, see, if there are guys in the dugout trying to have a little fun, they'd be telling Lomo how many outs there are right now.
1 and 2. Echeverria has grounded into another double play. That's been, for Echeverria, something he's been unable to stay away from.
14 double plays he's grounded into.
Matt Holliday with 20 leads Major League Baseball. And a ground ball out towards second. Forsythe will take care of it, but Miami's on the board. Derek Dietrich having a great series. He's 5 for 9 with a couple doubles. We have forgotten about that. Time now for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Baseball nicknames for Bark at the Park. In honor of Bark at the Park, Lefty Gomez was Goofy. Oral Hershiser was Bulldog. Got the Crime Dog. Mad Dog. Big Dog.
Big Dog or Doggy?
Andrew Kashner bunted for a hit last time up.
I think our crack staff stayed up late at night to come up with that one.
Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig.
All right, we're in the championship suite, just a little bit to your left over here, and with Tony Perez, who, I don't know if you guys realize this, Tony's been here for all 20 years.
Yes, 20 years.
You got here, you were with the Reds, fired as the manager, came over here in summer of '93, and you haven't left.
Yeah, in July, this month, it's going to be, next month, it's going to be 20 years. It's just like 82.
So, yeah, you've been with the Marlins to almost, not quite, but to the amount of time you spent with the Big Red Machine, if you look at all those years, right?
It's right, yeah.
How many years were you with the Reds organization, either as a player or manager?
Well, with the Reds, it was almost 20 years. Yeah.
20 years, too. Wow. As you look at your managerial stint that you had with the Marlins, and those were some of the building block years. Did you kind of see it coming? The ball club?
Oh yeah, I think the thing is coming now. We're playing better, and we got all the guys back. And really, I don't know. And we got a beautiful ballpark. I mean, the fans should come to see these kids play. They play very well and they play hard.
You've worked a lot with the guys, Ozuna in the outfield. You talk hitting and strategy with them. You were a guy known for runners in scoring position and driving in runs. What do you see from Ozuna? Do you see a little piece of Tony Perez in him?
Oh yeah, Ozuna is doing well. We talk a lot, like in Spanish and stuff. He comes to me most of the time for that. He's doing a great job. He's waiting more on the ball, and he's not trying to pull the ball. He's trying to use the whole field, and he's doing great.
Does it drive you crazy, Tony, when you see guys with a bad approach with runners in scoring position?
Well, because sometimes they're trying to play for themselves. They're trying to hit a home run and be a hero. But, if you play for the team, you just go out there and keep that rally going and trying to get the many runs you can get.
Hall of Famer Tony Perez. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Craig.
Always good visiting with Tony, guys. Back over to you.
All right, thank you, Craig. And it looks like Nathan Eovaldi has settled down a little bit. As Tommy Hutton pointed out during the break, what a turn of events. Siriaco with the bags loaded, and Eovaldi struggling. And a 2-0 count went after a pitch that was well in and bounced into a fielder's choice that ended the inning. And the Marlins come back with 2 pop-ups with 2 outs that fall, and an RBI double from Derek Dietrich.
I guarantee you one of the things that Chuck Hernandez told Eovaldi, he's gone with some of his other pitches, his secondary pitches in this inning. Got a couple quick outs till that base hit there by Amarista.
Amarista reaches. Chase Headley comes up. If you're just happening by, the Marlins here today playing the Padres on a Sunday afternoon. The Marlins celebrating 20 years of Marlins baseball here in South Florida. It's Juan Pierre bobblehead day, and it's Bark at the Park. I think we've had one shot of the dogs. We've forgotten all about Bark at the Park, Tommy Hutton.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know that Craig can interview any dogs, but we can search for the dachshunds with batting helmets. Always a staple on Bark at the Park night. Morrison has it, steps on the bag, and Eovaldi is through 5, and he is shutting down and shutting out the Padres. a Marlin for 3 years and that glorious 2003 World Championship year. And today is Juan Pierre bobblehead day. Now, if you didn't make it to the ballpark and you didn't get your Juan Pierre bobblehead, don't despair. I got a great way that you can get a hold of one of these, and it's an old school.
You got a deal.
I got a deal. I got a guy. It's a new school, old school. You got the new uni, the old uni, even the logo on the helmet. We have got some Juan Pierre bobbleheads for the fantasy auction pledge packs this year.
How many pledge packs this year? 200
pledge packs. We always have 200 pledge packs. We've got a Jose Fernandez autographed baseball, a Juan Pierre bobblehead, a Tommy Bahama beach mat that rolls out nicely on the sand.
Could be used possibly as a yoga mat in an emergency.
That's right. Yoga, that works. There's a ground ball to third. Up with the ball is Headley, and he throws out Jeff Mathis. MLB Network has donated 200 MLB Network caps. Fox Sports Florida has a dry fit workout shirt. We've got a Marlin shirt from the team shop, a cap from the team shop.
As we get closer, Rich, to the fantasy auction, we're going to be able to do, as we did last year, we'll get online on our iPads and show how easy it is to order the pledge pack.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, we will sell them.
I'm in.
As always, we'll sell the pledge packs a week before the auction. The auction this year is on the 29th of July, and we'll be in the Clevelander. Clevelander, one of the big sponsors this year. Diving stop. Wow, Cashner, look at that.
Wow. He has shown that he's a terrific athlete. Number one, when he dropped down that bunt base hit. And number two, when he reached first base after the hit, he took a lead, not like a pitcher. He had a lead like a runner. And there's an athlete there, and that's a nice play.
And that's two different slides in two different directions.
Yeah.
One was glove first, and then he had to reverse and go feet first.
There are a whole lot of pitchers that don't make that play. Mark Burley does, but and we saw that last year firsthand.
You saw Chase Headley go in just to calm Cashner down and make sure they didn't throw one down the chute to Ruggiano, who drove one to the warning track his last time up.
And oddly enough, he starts him off with a curveball.
Curveball there. Ruggiano hits it to center and hits it deep. Amarista goes back, looks up, won't get it. Hops off the wall, takes a big hop. Ruggiano's thinking three, round second, on his way to third, and he gets there with a triple. He doubled up on the breaking ball, Tommy Hutton.
Yeah, he threw one, he threw another one. This was actually a little better, but it was middle of the plate. And you give Ruggiano credit. Sometimes when you see one and you get it again, all of a sudden your eyes light up, and he drove that ball well over the head of Amarista. The high wall kept it in the ballpark and allowed Ruggiano to get to third base with 2 outs. So stand-up triple. And no unnecessary head-first slides, which we see a lot of guys do.
Now Ed Lucas with a chance to add to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Lucas has struck out, bounced out. A 7-game hit streak. And he's been close to 400 in those 7 games.
You know what's been impressive about Ed Lucas? The way he's gone about his business. And I mentioned last time up, he's started at first, he started at second, a couple games at short, third base. He's got some key base hits.
And he's not looked out of position in any of those spots. You know, there are some guys that you can move around the infield, but you know, he really doesn't belong there, or he really doesn't belong there. Wherever you play Lucas, he's played real well. He's turned the double play at second.
He's homered off Barry Zito.
Here's the 1-2. It's the Zobrist factor.
No, they're the Amezaga factor. Yeah. There's always a place for a guy like that. Actually, we were talking about it with Siriaco and Amarista, a couple guys the Padres have.
Willie Bloomquist in Arizona.
Over, yeah. In this day and age, in the National League especially.
Little tapper. Cashner pounces on this one. and fires a BB to first to prevent another run. Marlins leave that runner at third. 5 innings in the books. 2-0 Miami. All right, if you want to go back 20 years and talk about an original Marlin, look at that, number 1, Cookie Rojas. That must have been special. An electric day in South Florida.
I look the same as
igualito, no ha cambiado.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice.
Cookie, you look better. You've aged better. You look even better now.
All right, Tommy.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, how about a Cookie? A nice play there on a little deflection. Cookie, I know we'll see this year when the Marlins go to Denver and when the Rockies come here, we'll see Rene Latchman.
That is right. I think he's the manager of the AAA club, isn't he? Or
No,
he's in the big league
He's
now?
in the big leagues. He's one of their coaches, I believe, third base coach.
That is fantastic. It's good to see him. And he was the first manager of the Marlins here in 1993, right?
1993.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and he did a great job, with a young club, and all those players were drafted. And a matter of fact, Tommy, I went out in February the 15th until September the 20th. I was checking all the National League East club from the big leagues to the rookie club and making all those reports and trying to get the franchise first rostered in the big leagues. So it's quite a memory.
That must have been something. I mean, starting from scratch. Was there a philosophy that the organization had when you were out looking for players, or was it just find the best guys that were available?
Well, you knew exactly who were going to be free agents that were available, so you really go ahead and concentrate in those particular players. But at the same time, if you saw something that might be worthwhile in a trade later on, you recommend it to whoever was doing the pitching, or if it was a catcher, you recommend it to the scouts that were doing all the catchers and so on and so forth. So we communicated back and forth on each individual that we saw, and at the same time, fill out the information for the ball club.
I'll tell you what, Evaldi's not striking anybody out, but all of a sudden the Padres are not barreling balls up.
Well, he's throwing pretty good. We've seen him with the fastball and the slider working out. The one inning where he walked a couple of guys is the one that he was missing a little bit, and the bases were loaded, but finally he got out with a double play. But he's doing a good job, and those 2 runs, really help a lot for him. And from now on, I believe that you have to be careful. He's getting up to 100 pitches now very closely, so they have to monitor him a little more.
Tell you what, I think I've seen, Cookie. It looks like when he's 95 and above, it's a little straighter. And I think lately he's been able to back off the fastball and has gotten much better movement.
That is true. That is true. Sometimes he's maximum effort, and I think that's where he makes a mistake. You know, when he tries to overthrow that fastball, sometimes stays up in the zone, and he gets hit.
And by the way, Mark Kotsay, as he stands in there to hit, is the last man standing at the major league level. Got a comment. He came over to let us know that. Clark Spencer, the Miami Herald. Last man standing from that 97 team, Mark Kotsay.
Little pop up, and Echeverria is there. Cookie, Raul, have a good show.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Have a good one.
And Nathan Eovaldi's had a nice game. 6 scoreless innings. And Eovaldi right now shutting out San Diego 2-0. Freeze Camp brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. That's a comebacker, and it's a good thing he got the glove up.
He's had a couple of reaction plays. He had the ball that caromed off his leg over to Logan Morrison.
Giancarlo Stanton with a ground ball to short. Siriaco takes care of him. Eovaldi is at 89 pitches right now. Cashner is only at 69. And he's got an out here in the 6th inning. You can bring your team to come see the Marlins. Experience Marlins baseball through a variety of affordable group packages. Marlins Park features air-conditioned comfort, incredible food and beverage options, premium group entertainment. You can reserve your group today, 1-877-MARLINS, or go to marlins.com/groups.
Those are our seats, Rich. Right
That's
there.
it.
Those are our seats.
The guys with the neon green shirts are in our spot. That's where we'll be for the fantasy auction. I don't know if we'll have the same wait staff, but hopefully. Morrison, drive. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul.
Well, the reaction you watch is the reaction of Logan Morrison, because he's got the best view of anybody. And as he went up the line, you could see kind of his shoulders slump just a little bit when he knew it was foul. He's leaning, trying to give it a little Carlton Fisk. Couldn't quite get it to stay fair.
So a ball and a strike. Morrison hit a bloop single in the 4th. The Marlins' runs came in the 4th after Cashner got 2 ground ball outs. Morrison did a little pop-up that fell between Siriaco and Kotsay in shallow left. Ozuna ended up popping one that fell in front of Venable in right. And then Dietrich, the best ball of the day for the Fish. There's a smash into center field, a base hit for Morrison. Dietrich hit a ball like that only in the gap, and it got to the wall. And it drove in both. And that is how we've arrived at 2-0.
That's how sometimes that blue hit can really get you going and make you feel good. Logan Morrison with a 5-game hitting streak. But you get that bloop, and then you have another good swing, and all of a sudden 2 hits. Logan Morrison today is his 13th start since he's joined the ball club off the disabled list, and he now has 6 multi-hit games.
Ozuna pulls one foul. Ozuna reached on an error in the second, then had that bloop hit in the fourth. So the hitting streaks that came into play today, Lucas has not extended his 7 game. Stanton is still at 5. But Ozuna is now at 9. Morrison is up to 5.
I like this number. You were mentioning Eovaldi and Turner last night. The last 15 innings between Turner and Eovaldi, they've given up 11 hits and just 1 run. And by the way, Jose Fernandez pitches tomorrow night against the Padres, against the veteran Jason Marquis.
If you follow writers on Twitter, there was a good tweet from Peter Gammons this morning. Cashner, an out there, and no out at first. Gammons, a quick tweet, and it reads, as the Marlins are 14-10 in June, Fernandez/Turner/Eovaldi combined are 4-1 with a 2.64 ERA. 66 strikeouts in 78 innings. And by the way, Steve Cishek has 9 saves.
Saw a little fire last night in Turner as he came off the field after that complete game, too. First complete game for the Marlins this year, the entire staff, and the first of his career.
Our Toyota Trend, second complete game in this ballpark in 121 games.
I think Mike Redmond was taken aback a little bit when he went out to congratulate Turner after the game. And Turner was all pumped up. He was fired up. He said, that's the way it's done. Not expecting Jacob Turner to say that. That's good. A little fire. That's good to have.
Ozuna runs, and Dietrich fouls it back on that 0-2.
Speaking of a little fire, Miguel Cabrera has a little fire today. He got brushed back last night. The Tigers are in St. Pete playing the Rays. Fernando Rodney brushed him back, and I noticed Cabrera's gone deep today.
And don't make Miggy mad.
Oh, no. Who's been making Chris Davis mad?
Davis with a couple of home runs yesterday. Zach Wheeler getting knocked around by the Nationals. 5-0 Washington over New York. And that's in the 5th inning in New York.
Now, the Orioles have had a long, tremendous history. And Chris Davis is the first Oriole to ever get to 30 home runs before the end of June.
Ozuna runs. Dietrich little tapper. Boy, we've seen Cashner off the mound a lot. And he flips it over to first. Miami is done in the 6th. 2-0 still.
Yeah, with Alex Arias, outstanding infielder. And, you know, I look at your career, Alex, the timing of you as a Marlin was very interesting. You started in 93, the first season, and your last year was a good one. It was the 97 World Championship with the Marlins.
Yeah, it was a great experience. You know, it's a moment you never forget. And being back at the ballpark brings those memories again to me. So I'm enjoying my day today.
What do you think back of first in 93 when you were in those teal uniforms and baseball was just getting going at a major league level here?
Well, I'm very fortunate because I was here when it all started. We had the crazy uniform. We had guys that were coming from all over the place, never played in the big league, get to know new guys, and then 4 or 5 years later, you know, you're world champion. So, you know, I was here from the beginning, and, you know, getting that first championship and being part of this team from the beginning, it was very gratifying.
When do you think that 97 team started to believe?
Actually, when they told us they were going to dismantle the team, it was like in May. I remember that. I could remember that brief. It was like it was yesterday. So Bobby Bonilla said, "Hey guys, the only thing we can do is win the World Series, and then, you know, we can get out of here happy." So it worked out. It worked out great.
It was a great ride, and those memories when you see the highlights and the clips, all those exciting moments. What do you capture from the playoffs and the World Series?
Well, it was a blur. It went fast. It was just a lot of adrenaline going. I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
What I remember the most was that last hit that Edgar got, and, you know, I have all these guys in my memories. You never forget the 25 guys that played, that were on the field. You never forget those names.
People always talk about the crowd at that football stadium because it enveloped you all around.
Yeah, 67,000 people. I remember that number. It was crazy. It was like being at a football game. It was so loud. I mean, we couldn't even hear each other. So, being part of that, it was very good to me, and I was very happy to be part of that team.
Looking up a stat, 320 pinch hitter, a number you weren't aware of. What made you such a great pinch hitter? You know, I mean, you have dibs on Lenny Harris, at least in the average department.
Well, I knew I did well, considering my teammates always said, "Hey, how do you get a hit coming off the bench?" I said, "I don't know." I never felt great. I never felt good today. You know, sitting in the dugout for 9, 10 innings, sometimes 14 innings, and, you know, coming through. I'm not going to say it was easy. I guess I was very fortunate.
Yeah, you had a lot of good hits, too, for the Marlins and the Phillies and a lot of other teams. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, man. Thanks, God.
There's Alex Arias, guys. Let's go back over to you.
All right, thank you, Craig. So, Alex Arias, you saw him running out on opening day in 1993. Tommy, you joined the Marlins broadcast team in 1997. That was a good year to join the organization. The pitch misses down low. Can you name the starting lineup back in '93?
I don't know if I can name them all, but I'll tell you what was great about being around. And at that time in 1993, personally, doing games with ESPN and doing games with CBC, the Toronto Blue Jays. So I was in and out of town, and it was a nice connection to be in town and to come home and have some games on, some Major League games. In '93, I think Brett Barbary started at second. Orestes Destrada was the first baseman.
Walt Weiss?
Opening day, Walt Weiss, I think, was the shortstop. Also, not sure. I don't think Kurt Abbott was around then. He was a little bit later.
Conine?
Not at third base, though. I'm still stuck on third base.
Oh, you're in the infield.
Yeah,
right.
I'm still in the infield.
I skipped out to the outfield.
Yeah, Chucky Carr or Scott Pose, I think, started opening day at center, but Chucky Carr is probably the more well-known name. Benito Santiago behind the plate.
With Frank Pulley behind him.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Well, let's take a look at our AT&T
Universe.
Rewind.
Let's see. Look at that. Conine. Yeah, there's Pose. How about Junior Felix in right field?
And
Weiss.
Dave Magadan.
Magadan at third. How can we forget Mags?
Look at the sponsor. It's sponsored by American Airlines.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's right off the old telecast tape right there, the game tape. Sweet. See, you would have been, had you been here in '93, it would have been, now let's go to Tommy for the Marlins defense.
American Airlines defense.
Brought to you by American Airlines. Well, that's it for Andrew Kashner as Carlos Quentin comes off the Padres bench and will pinch hit for Kashner here in the 7th. And you get a sense that were this an American League game, or if the game had the Padres up 2-0, Kashner would probably still be in there. Kashner only
he would.
threw 83 pitches through 6. Now Eovaldi in his 6 innings threw 89 pitches, but remember Eovaldi drive left field. Quentin hits it deep. Ruggiano off the top of the wall and gone. And this game is tied. Chad Qualls gives up a 2-run shot to Carlos Quentin. And the Padres, with one swing of the bat, have tied it.
A guy who generally is in there on pretty much an everyday basis. Carlos Quentin gets the call, gets a little slider, a little cutter, something out over the plate, and it hit right off the top of the wall there in left center. Ruggiano just ran out of room. May have hit on those steps, the stairway to heaven. But nevertheless, a huge 2-run pinch hit home run.
And of course, the walk to Grandal put Grandal on base. And so it's a 2-run shot, and it's a 2-2 game.
Quentin's 9th home run of the year.
Top of the order, Logan Forsythe. Jesus Guzman has been the go-to guy for pinch hit home runs this year. He has a couple. For Quentin, it's his first pinch hit this year. He's now 1 for 7. Echeverria. All right, we've had some big moments that we've shown you today. World Championships, no hitters. How about Luis Castillo's hit streak? I know this made it fun for you to come to the ballpark in a season where the Marlins weren't winning a lot of games.
Absolutely. That was a fun time. Every time you came to the park, you couldn't wait for Louis to come up. Sometimes if he went 2-3 at bats without the hit, that was a real fun thing to watch.
Balls throws a strike to Amarista. Padres bullpen, Nick Vincent. Ed Lucas. That's a second leaping, lunging catch for Lucas. Carlos Quentin, a pinch hit 2-run homer. And just like that, it's 2-2. At the plate, behind the plate, he had it all going on. A 4-time Gold Glove winner, a couple of all-star trips, and a visit with us. Hi, Charles. How are you?
Everything is going great.
Good. Good. You enjoyed your day so far?
It's been nice. I think my kids probably enjoying the day a little more than me right now.
Now, I think you've been here before. You've been to the new
I've
ballpark?
been to New Park before,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
It's a little, I mean, now, if this were the old ballpark, we'd all be wilted by now.
You'd be sweating
on
bullets.
a Sunday.
Hey, by the way, that's something that catchers before last year just don't realize what it was like catching in South Florida in the games up there.
A lot of people used to come here and they'd say, CJ, I don't have no idea how you catch here all year. And it's relentless all year because from April all the way throughout the year, it's hot pretty much. And it wears on you. It wears on you. I can't imagine, playing in this stadium now knowing that AC is on, because it really helps probably around about, say, July, August, when your body really feeling it, and you get some, you'll get a little rest from that heat in here and with the cover here.
Now, you had a chance to catch in this ballpark, albeit for one pitch.
And I was hoping that Jeff didn't throw it in the dirt because I had,
You did enough blocking.
I know.
It's been a while since you've been down to block a ball.
It's been a long time.
All right, now we've been asking guys their favorite memory as a Marlin. I'm sure for you, there's many of them individually and as a team.
It's a lot of memories for individual-wise. I mean, if I can go back and look at my career here, a lot of moments are great, but some moments definitely will be outlier no-hitter. AJ and Kevin Brown no-hitter. I mean, those were special times for us personal for me to be able to catch a no-hitter. But it have to be probably that Game 7 World Series goes down to probably one of the best moments. And what I think a lot of people don't understand either is that after that game, we all went into the locker room and went in the training room, and we all sat down, and everybody had a chance to really say what they wanted to say about the season. And to me, that was really special for everybody to gather in that training room after everything was over, for everybody to say something about that season. So it was special.
Just in case, yeah, people forgot. You hit 357, had a home run in the World Series. Just in case people forgot. But I know where Rich was going to ask you. What did you say at that time?
You know what? I mean, I can't remember exactly what I said at the time. I mean, but I'm pretty sure, it was so much of, how I really enjoyed playing with that team. It was my third year in the big league, so I was fairly kind of young at that time, and having a chance to play with a lot of veterans on that team, it was a great learning experience for me.
Nick Vincent into the ball game. And he strikes out Adeiny Echeverria for the first out of the bottom of the 7th in a game that has seen the Padres tie it up with a Carlos Quinton pinch hit 2-run homer. Jeff Mathis to the plate. Well, catcher is still the toughest position to draft, the toughest position to develop, and the toughest spot on a big league roster to fill. So a guy like you who had such a nice career at that position, who are the guys that you like to watch when you watch baseball now as a catcher?
You know what? I follow a little bit of baseball. I don't really watch baseball a great deal, but definitely Molina. I mean, those guys, man, were outstanding, ball players, and I enjoy watching them catch because they brought a lot of excitement to the game, and the way they throw runners out, I mean, which was always special.
And what keeps you busy now?
My kids right now. I'm that father that keeps the tents in the truck, the chairs in the truck, and I'm going to every sporting event, pulling the tents and chairs out and having a good time watching my kids. It's been special. My boys are 12 and 14, and to really see them grow up, I mean, it's been outstanding.
And you were one of the few Marlins that was with the club a couple of times, because you came back again after making a few other stops.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, being here and winning that World Series in '97 thinking I probably would be with this team for a long time, and all of a sudden you get the call that you traded to L.A., and that was pretty much very difficult, but I made the adjustment very well, but coming back was really special.
Now, you came back in 2001 and 2002 with the Marlins. You finished your career with the Tampa Bay Rays?
Tampa Bay Devil Rays, I sure did. I mean, I came back here, and it was really great because I had a chance to really work with some great arms, with AJ and Beckett and Clement. I mean, it was a lot of guys there that were, Dempster at the time. So I mean, it was some great arms at the time, and it was fun to be with those guys.
Well, that's right. I forget about all those guys at the same time.
You look at, as we've talked about former players, you look at their stats. The one stat I wanted to see on you was your caught stealing percentage, 39% in your career, and that's really. I think
really we
good.
Talk about now 30%'s pretty good nowadays, and you were right there near 40.
I tell you what, one thing about me, I took pride in my catching. I mean, my hitting was up and down a lot at times. I wasn't a great average guy, but I always told myself if I'm not helping the team out offensively, when I go behind that plate, I'm going to call it the best game I possibly can. I'm going to try to throw every runner out. I'm going to try to find ways for us to win ball games being behind that plate.
When you called the game, was there a pitcher that you were always on the same page with? Or, on the other hand, was there a guy that you always had a hard time putting the right fingers down for?
Sometimes it's rhythm. I mean, some days the pitcher, they allow you to call a game and they kind of flow with you a little bit. And I really like that, whereas they don't really think as much. And Kevin Brown used to do that a lot. He would try to, let me call the games and let it flow.
Logan Forsythe with a diving catch, and he throws out Jordan Brown, who was pinch hitting here in the 7th. All right, Charles, thanks for the visit. Congratulations on a terrific career, and thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
CJ, thanks.
Appreciate that.
Good to see you.
I enjoyed seeing those highlights.
By Auto Nation.
How about a nice 6 shutout innings by Nathan Eovaldi? Made some good pitches and got out of a couple of little jams. In the 4th inning, Eovaldi got some offensive help after a couple of bloops. An opposite field 2-base hit off the bat of Derek Dietrich into left center. A couple of runs come in to score. Marlins were holding on to a 2-0 lead, but it was erased in a hurry. A walk, a pinch hit home run by Carlos Quinton off Chad Qualls, and just like that, it's a 2-2 tie. And now on to pitch is Mike Dunn to try to preserve it, keep it a 2-2 tie, and let the offense get a couple more.
So Dunn enters, and he gets Chase Headley, the switch hitting third baseman, Kyle Blanks, and then Will Venable, 8th inning, 2-2 game. And remember, this is a 4-game series, so another game tomorrow night Jose Fernandez slated to go for the Fish.
They got Headley, the switch hitter, up there for the first time as a right-handed hitter.
A pop-up. Stanton in, Morrison, and it's a foul ball. That's a tweener between everyone. And I think Morrison was hopeful that Stanton would get there. It's an easier play, obviously, for a right fielder.
Yeah, when you're a first baseman, you're running down, and you know it's going to be a difficult play for you. You don't know if you can get there. And out of the one ear, you keep listening, and hoping maybe the right fielder can get there.
So the count's 0-1. Headley has not been a real factor offensively this year as he was last year. We pointed that out early in this series. And yet the Padres are just a game under 500. And right in the middle of the West. Headley is 29 out of Fort Carson, Colorado. He's got one more year on his contract, and going into the season, the big talk was, could the Padres extend him? Here's the 2-1.
I think with an average in the 220s, those talks have kind of cooled.
Count full now at 3-2. Marlins.com, one-stop shop, breaking news, tickets, sweepstakes, merchandise, and more. Check out the new Marlins Park seat views for an interactive 360-degree experience from anywhere in the ballpark. Go to Marlins.com today. Sundays are always busy days in baseball. We told you the Nationals knocked Mr. Wheeler around a little bit for the Mets, 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Atlanta has a 4-1 lead over Arizona. That's top 5.
Big home run by Freddie Freeman. McCann's gone deep in that one.
Marlins will see the Braves on Tuesday night in Atlanta. And Dunn gets a strikeout of Headley.
That's a good job because so many hitters, especially in hitters' counts, sit on that fastball of Mike Dunn's, and he got Headley with a breaking ball.
There's the FBNL scoreboard. You see Atlanta's lead. The Phillies are in Dodger Stadium tonight, or this afternoon rather. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh are actually delayed by rain after Milwaukee got a run on a squeeze bunt. Colorado hosts San Francisco this afternoon.
The Rockies on the edge, seeing if Michael Kadire can continue his hitting streak.
Ozuna and Stanton. It's Stanton who makes the catch.
Kadire on a 26-game hitting streak. And the Giants have lost 6 in a row. The Marlins kind of got the Giants reeling.
News and notes from around baseball. Chris Davis with a couple of home runs last night. An incredible run. Adam Wainwright now up to 11 wins. Clint Hurdle is smiling.
Yeah, he is.
First to 50 are the Bucks. And there's Kadire's streak.
And you know what? Because of their workmanlike effort and maybe the city, blue-collar city, you don't have people rooting against the Pirates. People are rooting for the Pirates.
20 losing seasons.
Yeah.
The question is, will they have a second half fade like they've had the last 2 years? They've been in this spot, not at 50 wins, but with a nice first half record at the All-Star break the last 2 years, and faded in both second halves and finished under 500. Chris Denorfia up against Dunn, and Denorfia takes down low.
what has turned around, because he picked up his 27th save last night, what's turned around Jason Grilli?
He was our post-game guest last night.
A great guy.
And was just so thankful for the opportunity and enjoying the moment with all the people, the sellout. Throw to first is in time. I'll give you the rest of the story when we get back, but it is a terrific story for Grilli. 2-2, Padres and Marlins.
Ground ball. This might do it. Hanley to first. He did it. He did it. Anibal Sanchez, the first rookie to do it.
He joins Al Leiter, Kevin Brown, and A.J. Burnett as Marlins who have tossed no-hitters.
That was that magical ride in 06 with all the rookies around the infield and in that rotation. Anibal Sanchez with the no-hitter. 2-2 here, Padres Marlins.
Well, you saw Denorfia pinch hit. He stays in the game and will play right field. The new pitcher is Luke Gregerson. A couple of times during the telecast, Josh Beckett's name has come up. Certainly a huge part of the 03 championship team. And unfortunately, I was reading where Josh Beckett is having surgery. Going to have surgery kind of on a nerve in his neck, and looks like his season's going to be over.
Top of the order, Ruggiano, Lucas, and Stanton against Gregerson. Andrew Kashner started this ball game and was on the hook for the loss until Carlos Quentin hit a 2-run pinch hit homer. That was in the top of the 7th. So Kashner went 6, gave up 2. Evaldi went 6. He didn't give up any. The 2 runs came off of Chad Qualls.
There's part of that repertoire of Gregerson. Good sinking 2-seamers with sliders.
Before the break, you were asking about Jason Grilli, and last night he said what has prepared him for closing this year, because he had just 5 career saves and I believe something like 330 career appearances going into this year. Ruggiano hits a soft pop into left field. Kotze charges in, makes the catch. He said everything that he's done in his major league career has prepared him, and he's done a little bit of everything.
He has.
In a lot of different places. The last 2 years for Pittsburgh, he was a really good 8th inning guy. Setting up for Joel Hanrahan. And he has slid into that 9th inning role. I'll tell you the guy that doesn't get a lot of notice that might be an all-star this year is Mark Melancon. in Pittsburgh. He's pitching to an ERA that is, I mean, minuscule, and handing the ball off to Grilli for the ninth. Lucas pops it foul and out of play. Lucas is 0 for 3, struck out, bounced out twice. Cardinals are back in Oakland this afternoon. The Phillies and Dodgers have yet to start. Cincinnati and Texas have played an entertaining series in Texas. Those two at it right now. It's scoreless in the first.
Reading today where Johnny Cueto for the third time has gone on the disabled list for the Reds.
Here it was 2 runs on a Derek Dietrich double in the 4th, and then the Quentin homer in the 7th, and that's it. It's a called strike. It's 1-2. Gregerson part of that thick and talented Padre bullpen. And Lucas goes down. So Gregerson strikes him out. Padres bullpen has an ERA in the low 3s, 3.21. Tyson Ross, Joe Thatcher in the San Diego pen. Now Stanton with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Gregerson with the breaking ball for a strike. Steve Cishek just in case. Well, you know what? He may come in and pitch the 9th anyway in a tie ball game.
Yeah, I think he will if it stays tied.
Stan just tried to untie it with a big swing and a miss. Gregerson gave up a big home run on Wednesday against the Phillies, a game-tying 2-run homer to Delman Young.
We had a big night for the Phillies the other night in L.A.
Stanton a late home run last night in that complete game win by Jacob Turner. And Gregerson keeps it away from Stanton and strikes him out and works a very brief 8th inning. Cracked staff working hard. Make it live. Well, we thought maybe Steve Cishek would come out. little bark at the park action.
I think part of it, Rich, because the first hitter's a left-handed bat, Mark Kotze.
These are your Bark at the Park totals. Now, these are just the folks that are here for Bark at the Park. 1,000 Bark at the Park human tickets sold. 592 dog tickets sold. And all of those, that's the tickets for just the dog section. All of the tickets for the human and the dogs that are up in the dog section go to the Humane Society. And pop-up is fouling out of play.
I was reading a note on Mark Kotze as you check out some of the canines in attendance today.
Very nice. Kotze 0 for 3.
Mark Kotze on this date in Marlins history. June 30th, 1999, hit a walk-off home run. A 3-3 tie in the 10th inning against the Mets.
Three years of Marlin. First round pick in 96. Would go on to play with San Diego, Oakland. 4 years with Oakland, Atlanta, Boston, the White Sox. And now back with San Diego. Jeff Conine mentioned the Golden Spikes Award. He was a terrific player at Cal State Fullerton.
He had an incredible College World Series, not only hitting but pitching.
Two and two. Mike Dunn came in and pitched the eighth. He had a 1-2-3 eighth. And he walks Mark Kotze. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. You can join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. It's one thing that's really changed in baseball. Mike Redmond comes out. It used to be 5-6 years ago when a director needed a shot of someone on the cell phone, it would take a while. Now, when Jim Hawley, our director, says, hey, find me someone on their cell phone, bang, it happens. the Juan Pierre bobblehead. We've seen Bark at the Park, and of course, the Marlins celebrating 20 years of Marlins baseball today. Steve Cishek. He'll take over for Mike Dunn, an inning plus a base runner for Dunn. This was a Nathan Eovaldi start, and Eovaldi worked 6 scoreless innings. The oddity for Eovaldi is we're used to seeing Eovaldi rack up strikeouts. He didn't strike out anybody, but he gave up just the 4 hits and no runs. He walked 3.
Yeah, previous 2 starts for Eovaldi, 12 innings. He had 10 strikeouts. But I think the good news to that is that in some little way, I think he learned a little bit today about pitching without just using that 97, 98 mile an hour fastball.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Mathis' throw is in time. He's out, and Jeff Mathis continues an incredible season of throwing out runners at second base. Mark Kotze gunned down.
Well, it looked like the Padres, like Bud Black, put a little hit and run on. No contact by Grandal, and Mathis came up firing.
11 of 16.
Incredible.
Those numbers are incredible. You just don't see that.
CJ would have appreciated that. Charles Johnson, I loved what he said when we had CJ up here in the booth about he knew he wasn't always going to hit. You know, CJ run into him, hit some home runs, but he always wanted to catch that good game, call a good game. That was his main concern, and that should be every catcher's main concern. And I believe that's the approach Jeff Mathis takes too.
Two coming. End of the bat. Ruggiano races in and makes the catch. So Cishek comes in and gets Grandal after Mathis got Kotze. Houston Street, Padre closer, is up. Tyson Ross, the right-hander, is up as well. And Cishek trying to get this last out, give the Marlins a chance to walk off in the bottom of the 9th. Miami will have Morrison, Ozuna, and Dietrich due up in the 9th. Here is Siriaco. And the free swinging shortstop fouls it off.
I know we've mentioned it, but because he's not a starter, because he's not in there every day, but Cishek has been as much responsible for the month of June as everybody else on this club.
He made the Peter Gammons tweet. 2 big hops. Echeverria on the first. 7 pitches. That's all it takes for Steve Cishek to restore order. To the bottom of the 9th we go. 2-2. Lineup card. Miami and San Diego tied here. Redmond going to make sure he's got the people he wants in the right spots. For the Padres, they'll make a few adjustments. Jesus Guzman is into the ball game, and Guzman is at first base. Kyle Blanks moves out to left field. And Tyson Ross enters the ball game. Ross, who was with the Oakland Athletics organization from 2008 up until this past season. Padres traded for him, and he misses with a fastball inside to Logan Morrison, a guy that throughout his career has mostly been a starter, both in the minor leagues and in the big leagues for Oakland. Parts of 3 years in the major leagues with the A's.
That's probably, Rich, why he's not just a two-pitch guy. And you get a lot of guys out of the bullpen, two pitchers, but because of his experience as a starter, fastball, slider, throw a changeup.
Morrison a cut on a 2-0 pitch. Remember the ball Morrison hit in his last at bat. He did get a single, but he pumped one out of here that was just fouled on the right field line. Morrison, Ozuna, Dietrich in the bottom of the ninth. And Ross misses out. Morrison has the count to 3-1. Ozuna waits. And Morrison walks. Leadoff walk. 2-2 game. Bottom of the ninth. The Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. On this 20th anniversary, 444 players. 18 have come back for at least another stint with the ball club. 38 different catchers, and the only two to play on both 97 and 2003 World Championship teams, Luis Castillo and Jeff Conine.
And one of those multiple stinters was Charles Johnson we had in the booth, of course, Jeff Conine.
So Morrison's at first, and now you've got Ozuna with Dietrich on deck.
And make sure Lomo knows how many outs there are at first base. This is the key. You get the leadoff man on in a tie game, bottom of the ninth inning. That's a start. Now it's what you can do with that.
Ozuna 1 for 3. He's extended his hit streak to 9 games. Ross to the plate. And Tyson Ross hasn't thrown strikes. He's thrown just 1 strike. A walk to Morrison. He's behind 2-0 to Ozuna.
And if anybody's at home saying, well, this is where you sacrifice. Well, no, it isn't, because let's say you did. And let's say Ozuna was successful. Logan Morrison's at second. First base is open. They walk Dietrich, who's been a hot hitter. You then have Echeverria and Mathis coming up, 2 right-handers. I say, and Redmond is saying, Ozuna, now be selective that the count's 2-0.
A quick visit from Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres. And you've got Ozuna, who has shown an ability to hit late in ball games in big spots just like this. Outfield is playing Ozuna over towards right center. There's a huge gap in left center. And he goes after that 2-0 pitch and fouls it back. So a good aggressive swing by a 22-year-old who has made quite an impact in the big leagues. And ironically, in spring training, when people talked about Marlin prospects, Ozuna was at the back of the line. Christian Yelich, Jake Marisnick were the first 2 outfielders everybody talked about. And of course, all 3 got hurt at the end of spring training. When Giancarlo Stanton went down, Ozuna was the healthiest of the youngsters, and Ozuna had played only 10 games above single A. The Marlins called him up, not sure how he would respond. And from day one, he looked like he's been in the big leagues for 5-7 years.
I'll tell you a guy I talked a lot with in spring training about Ozuna, who saw him last year in A-ball, Jack McKeon.
Into left field.
He liked what he saw.
Ozuna has a base hit. Morrison stops at second. And so the Marlins here in the bottom of the ninth, getting a leadoff walk to Morrison, a single by Ozuna. Now Dietrich, whose bat has perked up, comes up first and second, nobody out.
Well, Ozuna extends his hitting streak. He did so in the fourth. 9 games, 2-hit game today. Took care of a little hanging slider and found that hole between third and short.
Now you've got Dietrich, the former shortstop out of Georgia Tech, mired in a slump that took his batting average south of 200. In this series, though, 5 hits in 10 at-bats, and he's done damage. A couple doubles, a 2-run double in the fourth. The Marlins do have some pinch-hitting options on the bench. One of those, Greg Dobbs.
Yeah, you have some options here with Dietrich.
So Dietrich might try to push the runners, or he may just swing away and hit a drive to right center, deep. DeNorfia is under it. Lomo is tagging. There's the catch. Morrison on his way to third, and he's going to get there.
I love the fact that Mike Redmond allowed Dietrich. He may not have as the at-bat went on, but he allowed him in the first pitch, saying, okay, Ross is going to think, the Padres are going to think maybe the bunt is on. They were creeping in at the corners. Dietrich, who's a good fastball hitter, might see a fastball. He did. He had a good swing. He just got under it, and it was deep enough to get Morrison over to third.
And as we expected, here's Dobbs. The Major League average for driving in a runner from third base with less than 2 outs is 51%. Last year, Dobbs was up around 80%. But he's the perfect guy in this spot because Dobbs does not hit a lot of ground balls. The Padres still have a shot at getting out of the inning, and they're going to walk Dobbs to get to Mathis, which is not a surprise.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. The only run that matters is Morrison at third. You've got a couple of lefties left. You've got Mathis, who's on deck. You've got Brantley and Juan Pierre.
Well, Brantley would be the logical choice because he would stay in the ballgame and catch, and
has more of a chance. As much as you'd like to see JP on bobblehead day be the pinch hitter, Brantley has more of a chance to hit a fly ball, to get a ball into the outfield, even though Juan Pierre will be ready.
And so the walk is issued to Dobbs. Mathis is coming to the plate.
Mathis had a couple of big RBIs last night.
And the Padres may bring one of their outfielders in and play 5 infielders here. Bud Black motioning Amarista, who, as we've talked about, is a versatile.
And he's getting his infield close.
Swiss Army knife of a player. You can plug him in just about anywhere. And the Padres are going to play with 5 infielders here and hope for a ground ball or a strikeout of Mathis. While the Marlins are looking for something to get through the infield, it's going to bring the outfield. You can see the right fielder, DeNorfia, the left fielder, Blanks. They are shallow and towards the gaps.
They're banking on and figuring anything into the outfield, the game's over.
So it's Mathis against Ross. And the first pitch is out, and keep in mind, Ross has not had the best control here. Look at the ball strike ratio. Now it's with an intentional walk, weighted a little more towards the balls, but he did walk Morrison to lead off the inning, and he fell behind Ozuna. The 1-0 to left and deep. This game is over. Ball game. Walk off. Grand slam. Jeff Mathis.
it. Well, Mathis was looking for something to hit in the air, and I guess he found it.
Boy, found it. He found the visiting bullpen, and I loved the entire strategy for that inning. What a way to end it. What a finish.
Mathis. And you're right, Tommy, because there was a decision to make for Mike Redmond. Does he pinch hit Rob Brantley, the lefty, or does he go with Mathis, who'd been swinging the bat better?
And when he pinch hits Dobbs, he knows he's going to force the hand of Bud Black. Does Bud Black pitch to Dobbs, maybe thinking double play, or does he force his hand and make him walk Dobbs to load the bases? Then he had the option, am I going to keep Mathis in there, or I have Brantley, or I have Juan Pierre? That's a great inning.
Mathis with his second home run, a grand slam. Let's go down to Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, what an exciting finish here, Jeff. Take me through the at-bat.
You know, had some great at-bats that inning. Was able to get the bases loaded, and, you know, just thankful to be in that position where, you know, I can help the team out, get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it.
I mean, a sac fly would have done the trick, but you figured go for all the marbles, huh?
Yeah, you know, I was just trying to get the head out, you know, get a fly ball out in the outfield, just try to push a run across, and, you know, got good one on it.
Jeff, your manager showing a lot of confidence in you. It would have been an easy move, and no one would have questioned going with, since you have a left-handed hitting catcher anyway, to pinch hit there. He was saving Brantley, and that has to feel good for you.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was saying. Just thankful to be in that position, you know, for him letting me get that opportunity right there, and, you know, just happy to come through.
It was an interesting ball game here, kind of meandering along. Eovaldi pitched a very good game for sixth.
He sure did. He threw the ball well. You know, he battled, you know, found his groove there in the third and fourth and fifth inning, and, you know, he threw the ball really well.
You know what's great about the emotion of a win like this? You're still out of breath, and it's been a few minutes.
Yeah, you know, it's, like I said, it's been a tough go offensively here as of late, and, you know, just happy to produce a little bit.
But you've mixed in, you know, I know the overall average isn't where you want, but you've mixed in some big hits during this run here.
Yeah, you know, just trying to grind at bats out, keep grinding. Keep trying to put the ball in play, and just hoping good things will happen.
And you got out of there okay from the celebration?
Yeah, you know, everybody dreams about doing that right there, and it's nice to be able to celebrate with your teammates at home.
I'm sure it's your first Grand Slam walk-off. Have you had other exciting home run walk-offs?
No, that's my first walk-off home run.
Good for you. Way to go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jeff Mathis, big hit here, guys. In the dugout moments ago. Back to you.
Yeah, and a terrific guy, too. And it's been a struggle at the plate, but he certainly has contributed behind the plate. He's been terrific defensively, handling the young pitchers. And Mathis comes through and ends this ball game. And the Marlins finish June at 15-10. How about that?